Even with all my vast knowledge of Monster Hunter Rise, there are a lot of things in this game that I'm still discovering, even a year after launch. For example, I didn't even know that the stormsoul armor skill existed until last week. Crazy, I know. If I'm still discovering things, chances are a lot of you are too. Most of my knowledge is about the bow, and as a result, I take a lot of things for granted. Things that other people might not have discovered yet. I released a video the other day with some training area footage, me doing combos on the dummy. Apparently my damage numbers were so high that some of you ask me how I'm getting them. For me, the process is automatic. So I took a minute to make a list of all the things I do to boost my damage numbers when I take my bow out for a hunt. Let's take a look at it. The first thing I want to do is get a baseline. What is my damage with no armor, no buffs, nothing to help me out, just me and the bow? I got to get rid of my little buddies because they're set up to give me attack and affinity boosts. Let's change out of our equipment. Let's take it all off. And for the pedal ace, we want to go to the pedal ace with the smallest attack bonus because it's going to give you a full pedal ace in the training area. So we want to minimize the amount that we get. So you can't get rid of your pedal ace. So we're going to make that as small as we can possibly go, and that's attack up 8. There's so many things in this game that I take for granted. I can't assume that you guys know about these things. My damage was higher than I thought because of something that I just always have in my inventory all the time. I never leave it out. It just stays there. And that is the power charm and the power talon. You can see in the training area, the pedal ace kicks in. I've got 246 attack. So that's 8 points from the pedal ace and the 238 base damage from the bow. The reason why it was higher than that before is because of the power charm and power talon. I'm going to leave those out of my inventory for now so you can see the very lowest amount of damage that you can get with this bow. Not the lowest amount, the highest, I don't know how to say it, but we're going to charge this up as far as we can, and we're going to shoot, and you're going to see how much damage this bow does with no modifiers. There it is, 33 points of damage. If you get the angle right, you'll see 33 times 5. There you go. That adds up to 165 points of damage every time you fire an arrow. We are going to make that 33 number turn into something ridiculously bigger. So much bigger. Some of you will probably be surprised. We're not going to double it. We're not going to triple it. We're going to go beyond that. How do we do that? I guess this could be a little tutorial in how to prepare for a quest. One thing I do want to say, we're not going to boost this number as high as it can possibly go. There are methods that you can use that I'm not going to use to get it even higher than we're going to go in this video. I'm not going to show you those methods because I don't use them in the quest. I'm only going to show you the stuff that I use regularly in nearly every quest that I do. So one example of something I don't do is adrenaline. Just don't do it. Fortify, I don't use it. If we use those two skills, we could go well beyond what you're going to see here, but it's just not practical for me to do that. There is another food skill that we're not going to use. It gives you like 15 or 20 attack bonus for a few seconds. We're not going to use that either. All of my loadouts here have power charm and power talon. If you do not have these, you need to go make them. You purchase a power charm, put it in your inventory. You purchase another power charm and you combine it with, I think, something from Ibushi. I'm not sure. It's been a long time. And you put that in your inventory and you keep it there. Likewise with the armor charm, armor talon. It boosts your defense by a little bit. You're going to see how much this boosts us here in terms of our damage. All right, so the very first thing you're going to do to boost your damage is power charm, power talon. Let's charge this thing up and see what it does. 2 more points of damage. Look at that. Is it worth it? Absolutely. It is. Every little bit counts. And you're going to see toward the end of this video how a lot of little things add up to something very amazing. Notice something else about this bow. The charge levels. It has level 1, 2, and 3, but level 4 is grayed out. We don't have access to that. Most bows are like this. In order to get access to that 4th charge level, which does a ton more damage, you need the Mighty Bow Feather. Got a video on how to get the Mighty Bow Feather. Let's put the Mighty Bow Feather on, just this one piece of armor, and see what it does for us. If you still think you can get away with not using the Mighty Bow Feather, well, this might change your mind. Okay, we've got 4 charge levels now instead of 3. Let's see what our number is. Our last number was 35. We're up to 44. We got 9 more points of damage. Now, right now, you might be thinking 9 points of damage, not a big deal. It's not a absolute amount of damage boost that it does. It's a percentage amount. The higher we get our attack power, the more that Mighty Bowfeather is going to juice the numbers, so to speak. Now, you might also understand why you don't get any other skills on the Mighty Bowfeather. You don't get any slots on the Mighty Bowfeather. It, in and of itself, is a 25% damage boost, roughly speaking. Let's take a look at what changing our Petal Ace will do. I use the Underworld Petal Ace for the stamina up. If I'm doing an emergency quest, sometimes I'll use the Absolute Petal Ace because I'll get the extra health. But I like the extra stamina, so I'm going to go with that. So this is what I use in the quest. 46. It's the same because of rounding issues. All right. The higher your attack power goes, the more of a difference it's going to make. And I have tested this. When everything's maxed out, the difference for me between Demon and Underworld is 1 point of damage. I'm not going to sweat that. Let's put on some armor. That's what we all came here for, right? So what I'm going to do is put on a typical build. This is what most people recommend you use. We're looking at attack 273. You've got Con 4, Stamina Surge 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Crit Boost 2, and then some extra stuff. This is what everybody, except me, tells you to use for bow. So here we go. We went from 46 to 56. And you see we're critting now. So we get some 75s. So not every shot's 56. So we didn't just jump from 46 to 56. We jumped from 46 to 56 and or 75. Probably an average. Since we're at 50%, it's going to be the average of those two. So how does this work? Why are we getting such a massive boost here? Well, let's break it down. Mighty Bowfeather, we already talked about. It raises your charge level. We have Weakness Exploit. That's going to give us 50% affinity on weak spots, which is what we're shooting. 50% of your arrows, not your shots, 50% of your arrows will do a critical hit. Now, how much does a critical hit do? That depends on your crit boost. We got crit boost 2, so it's going to give you a 35% damage boost on 50% of your arrows to the weak spot. So effectively a 17.5% damage boost between this Weakness Exploit and this crit boost. What else affects the damage? Spread up. This, I think, is just a flat 10% damage boost. This is another massive boost, and it's definitely worth it. And that's all the damage boosting you're getting from this particular set. So let's take a look at that number again. 75 and 56. And you notice our attack power is 273. This is not the set I use. I'm going to show you the numbers for the set that I use. And my set has no Constitution and no Stamina Surge, largely because I don't need it. I can play just as well without it. I have several videos detailing how to achieve this. Just like that set, except no Constitution, no Stamina Surge, it has Attack Boost 4. Now check this out. Attack Boost 4 gives you 5% across the board bonus to your attack plus 7 more points. Okay, this is a threshold level. If you're using Attack Boost, you want to get to level 4 because of that percent increase. Now my attack went up to 287. Let's see what the damage is. Before, what did we have? 75 and 56. So this is the bow I take to nearly every hunt. We're at 82 and 59. Another 7 points at the high end. But guess what else this set has? It's got Crit Boost 3. So we're getting that 40% damage increase from our critical hits. Attack Boost 4, Crit Boost 3. Yes, it retains the Weakness Exploit 3. It still has the spread up. So you're seeing even more damage here. And again, a lot of this stuff stacks. So don't always just look at the absolute increase. We still have a lot more to go. So that attack boost makes a big difference when you look at the totality of it. For me, going from 75 to 82 is definitely worth it. For you, maybe you like the Constitution and Stamina Surge. I'm going to pull out the big guns now because this is something that maybe I take for granted. Maybe people don't realize this. This bow allows you to load power coats, and power coats are amazing for a damage boost. Thus far, we have not been shooting power coats. So you saw the numbers. 82 is our highest number, and that's for crits. So half of our shots are going to be 82s. Power coat, let's enable it. What does a power coat do to our damage? Look at that. Our highest number is 111, and our regular numbers are 79. So we went from 82 to 111 just by using power coats. That's 30 points of damage per arrow. at least half the arrows. And then the other half of the arrows are getting a boost as well. So that's pretty ridiculous. Now, some bows don't allow you to use power coat. That's because the attack power on those bows is ridiculously high already. For bows like that, you just switch to close range coating. They'll all let you use close range coating. And look, close range coating, you still get great numbers, 98 and 70, versus no coating at all. $82 and $59. The coatings are critical. You can combo 20 coatings in the field, so you get a total of 70 power coats. And if you need to, Farcaster back to camp, get a bunch more. We're at 111. We still haven't hit 120. What are we going to do to hit 120? Notice I haven't taken any potions yet. I've got them in there waiting for me. Don't worry. We will be taking them, but there's one more thing we're going to do that you can do, and you never run out of this. And you don't even have to put your bow away. And a lot of people don't even realize how important this is. I'm going to hold down the right shoulder button, and I'm going to press A. That's going to do the Herculean draw. There it is. This gives me a bunch more attack. Okay, my attack's up to 311 now. So our highest number was 111. What does it look like now with Herculean draw? See that little white thing swirling around my arm? That means it's enabled. 111 to 120. All right, so there's the 120. This is why I had 120 points of damage in my previous video. What you see right here. It's my standard build that I use in the field. I didn't take any potions. All I did was come in here with my standard build, my standard armor skills, my power charm and power talon. I did a Herculean draw, and then I started doing my combos. That's it. And that's how you get to 120. And if you're satisfied with 120, there you go. We're done. But I'm not satisfied with 120. And I never am satisfied with 120 on the hunt. So I've got a lot more work to do. Let me do it one more time. Draw your bow, right shoulder button A. Whenever you have 2 spare wire bugs, do this. Okay? Keep it active all the time. You shouldn't run out. If you're doing a lot of aerial aims or you're getting hit a lot and so you're using your wire bugs, you may not be able to keep it active all the time. But, oh wow, 120 times 5? What was that? Wow. That was 600 points of damage. You can keep it active for most of the quest. It just went away. So we're going to activate it again. There it is. Ridiculous. Getting a lot of good crits on that. Our maximum amount of damage right now with one shot is 120 times 5. That's 600 points of damage with one shot. Now I know it's the training dummy, but some of your opponents out there are pretty weak. And I've gotten a lot of monsters I can get over 100 points of damage on their head. Okay, so this is my standard attire for a quest. Let's add in some potions. We're going to take a demon jug. So 287 to 292, that's 5 points of attack. We're going to take a demon powder and a might seed. We're up to 312. That was where we were when we were doing the Herculean draw. Let's add a Herculean draw on top of all that, and we're at 336 attack power. This is crazy. Now we're at not 120, we're at 130, and you can see some of these are 5 times 130. What is that? 5 times 130? That's 650 points of damage per shot, per pull of the trigger. All right, so you're thinking, oh, wow, you could be using that Constitution Stamina Surge right about now. That's what the dash juices are for. Okay, so we have more on top of that, and there's still more to squeeze out. All right. So we're at 130 times 5. You notice a lot of crits. It's pretty crazy. My worst is 93 times 5. Still an amazing amount of damage. What else can you do on top of this? You might be thinking, haven't we exhausted everything? Well, no, because remember what I did right at the very beginning? I put away my buddies. So let's bring the buddies back. Let's not bring the buddies back just yet. We got to go eat. For bow users, I'm going to show you what I recommend. It's what I use on almost every quest. Here it is. We get booster, feat, marksman, and fighter. Now, booster gives you a bonus to attack and defense. I think it lasts 5 minutes. It's worth it. I don't even know what feat does. Don't care. It comes with marksman. I've been eating marksman for the last year. I just realized what marksman does. It gives you a bonus to one of your arrows. Is it worth it? Well, I don't have anything better right now. So this is what I do. I might start experimenting with some other things, but this is what I've been doing. So what you're going to see in the training area is you're going to see one of the arrows having a significantly higher number than the rest. And that's because of marksman. So why do we eat fighter? Fighter is a constitution boost. If you're a bow user, eat fighter. Between the fighter and the dash juice, I manage constitution just fine. Now that we got our food skills, let's juice back up and see where we're at. Why not Mega Demon Jug? Well, they're more expensive to use, and in the end, it gives me like 1 more point of damage. So it's 1 or 2. I don't remember which one. To me, it's not worth the cost. All right, do we have everything enabled? I sure hope so. What are we up to now? We're coming from 130 to 130 as well. Something's not right. Now you see the single number, the 143 popping up, that's your marksman number. But we're still at 130, and I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like the booster isn't kicking in, and that may very well be the case here. So on a quest, the numbers might be a little higher. The marksman's kicking in though. The booster might not be kicking in because it has to be on a timer. You know, it only works for so long after the start of a quest, and maybe the training area doesn't trigger it. I'm just going to go with that. That's my guess as to what's going on. But we got our 336. Now, how do we get higher than 130? The marksman is giving one of our arrows significantly higher numbers. So we jump back down to 120. That's the Herculean draw. It went away. So we're back up to 130. Can we go higher than 130? Yeah, we can. There's one more thing that we can do, and that's the buddies. So for your buddies, you want to go with palicos. You can use 1 or 2. If you like riding the dog, just take 1. So you're going to want a fighting palico, all right? Take a look at his equipped moves. Rousing Roar, that's going to boost your attack. Power Drum, going to boost your attack in the form of attack power and affinity. I'm not sure which one does what. They both work wonders for your damage. And then Shock Tripper is great. It throws a Thunder Beetle, basically throwing a Thunder Beetle at the monster from time to time. So that's why I enabled that one. This is the cat we're going with. Let me see if I got another cat that we can take advantage of. Rousing, we need here we go. Rousing Roar and Power Drum. Let's take this. I don't know. I think we can do better than that. Okay, Go Fight Win. That's another one that you want for your bow. This guy is almost the ideal. Rousing Roar gives you damage bonus. Go Fight Win gives you Constitution bonus. It works a lot like a dash juice. Power Drum, more damage bonus. Shock Tripper is awesome. We're going to go with this. These guys take a minute or two to get activated. They're here with me now. Let's see how long it takes for them to start beating the drum. Yeah, so he's attacking. That guy's attacking. Start doing some power drums, guy. So we've far exceeded 120 damage. The one arrow is giving us a little bit more. And I'm just waiting for the cats to kick in here. He just did something to me. Let's take a look. He gave us affinity boost, 30% affinity boost. That's amazing. So now on weak spots, I've got 80% affinity. So we're going to see a lot more 130s. Oh, we lost our Herculean. Oh, here comes the power drum. Let's see what a power drum does for us. Come on. 324. Herculean draw. We're up to 350 attack power with that power drum. Ridiculous. We're up to 135 points of damage. And our first one is like, oh my god, 135 times 5. Our first number is 148. Let's do one of these. 193. 175. Wow. What the hell? Look at the total damage. 14,000 with 120 hits. That includes the cat's hits too. All right. So my hits plus the cat's hits are averaging over 100 points of damage per hit. Now, each shot is 5 hits. Every arrow is a single hit. And then the cats are doing their tiny little hits for, 40 points of damage here, 14 points of damage there, whatever. Theirs plus mine averages over 100 points of damage per hit. That's what we're looking at right now. And that, if you think about it, is ridiculous. 350 attack with 30 affinity. We're back. We're back in action, folks. Crazy. That's all I've got for damage boosting. That's what I do. This is how I play the game. This is how I play the quests. I always have at least one cat. Sometimes I'll have two cats. I don't always need a dog. I have a Evade extender, so my wire bugs work really well. I've got a really nice set of skills here. The attack boost, crit boost, weakness exploit 3. Got the spread up, of course. Reload speed 2. We can change our coatings on the fly. Evade extender 2 is great for dodge bolt. Stun resistance is just extra, but it does help. I hate getting stunned. Part breaker. This does more part damage, which means more staggers. Bow charge plus, of course. Flinch free for multiplayer play. Dragonheart is incidental. It does nothing for me. And there we go. So you want to know how to get your damage up to 120. This tells you how. If you want to get your damage up to 135 or 148, this is how to do it. If you are getting under 100 points of damage on the dummy with your bow, 100 points per arrow, you have a lot of room for improvement there. Whether it's getting the right cats, getting the right bow, maybe you just need a bow with more damage on it. Getting the right set of armor skills. It might just be a technique issue. Getting your charge level all the way up and then maintaining it. I have videos on that too. All right. In fact, I just released one about how to maintain the charge. You see me doing this dodge bolt. My numbers stay high because I'm dodge bolting, and every time I dodge bolt and fire, it maintains that big charge level. So my numbers are always going to be high as long as I'm doing that combo. Charge level is important. What I've seen kill a lot of people's damage, I've seen this on, gameplay videos or streamers on Twitch. What I've seen kill a lot of bow users' damage is something that a lot of people don't really talk about, and that's critical distance. Notice all my shots have been me standing pretty close to the monster. And how do you know you're in critical distance? See my reticle? Circle within a circle. That's what you want to see when you shoot. If you're back too far with a spread bow, no longer. Now watch the damage. I mean, assuming you could even get all 5 arrows to hit, which you can't, I'm doing 23 points of damage instead of 123 points of damage when I'm at critical distance, okay? Or 117. It's almost 100 points of damage less when you're not in critical distance. So there's that. But just to boost your attack power and boost your damage, assuming that you know how to use the bow, assuming that you know how to keep your charge up, assuming that you know how to stay in critical distance, the simple things, the easy things you can do. Put on the right armor, put on the right cats, use the right potions, take advantage of Herculean draw. You'll be doing damage like a champion. There it is. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you got more ideas for boosting your damage, drop them down there. I have a few more, but I want to see what you guys come up with. I'll put my extra ideas down there too. See you soon.